The state of my bookshelves right now is a pretty accurate representation of my mental state. Nothing is where it should be. Hello there! So I decided to do a tag video today. I found this one tag that I have not done, surprisingly. Today is the day. So this is the opposites book tag. It basically deals with opposites in terms of books. Alright. The first book in your collection and the last book you bought. The first book that was ever in the collection is probably not on the shelf anymore. The first book I remember having a story of, like, buying myself is probably this old ratty paperback of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. Good times. This was $6.99. How much is a paperback of this now? Probably like $15. I was probably in about 2nd grade. I bought this at Target. The last book I bought, I think, was Hold Me Closer by David Levithan. He had sent this to me in ARC form, but I wanted to go out and get a hard copy. If you didn't know, Hold Me Closer is the musical from Will Grayson about Tiny Cooper's life. If you read Will Grayson, first of all, you should read that book, and then you should get this because it's so cute and so fun, but I think this is the last book I bought, surprisingly. A cheap book and an expensive book. Children's books. The Magic Finger by Roald Dahl, $5.99. I don't think I have anything cheaper up in here. Here's an expensive book though. Harry Potter Film Wizardry. This was $45. It's pretty cool stuff. Some of it's like stuff about like potions. It's less like what I thought it would be when I bought it. I want behind the scenes of the filmmaking process, and this is sort of just how they set up all of the magic. But I still think it's pretty cool, and it's also really expensive. So, a book with a male protagonist and a book with a female protagonist. That'll be easy. Male protagonist, female protagonist. A book you read quickly and a book that took you a long time to read. I flew through Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children by Ransom Riggs. Still love this book and really excited for the final one. My go-to book for anything that's like took you a long time to read. Actually, I'm not gonna say Delirium. I did not finish The Mark of Athena until the day before The House of Hades came out. The Mark of Athena was my favorite of the whole series, and it took me a year to read. Not because I slowly read it over the year, but because I sort of stopped, then had to pick it back up. This came out my freshman year, and I didn't get much reading done. But it was nice to not have to wait for House of Hades, like the rest of you. Sorry. A pretty cover versus an ugly cover. Oh, such a pretty cover, oh my god. But this is so pretty, and then a thin book and a thick book. I'm gonna use the magic finger again and put it next to this. Also, I'm gonna take a moment to show you the state of this book. Walked around with like the middle chunk for a little bit. There's some sort of stain right here. A fiction book and a non-fiction book. Most of these are fiction. I'm just gonna... what do we have? Ruby Red by Kirsten Gier. This is fiction. Non-fiction, I just got I Hate My Selfie by Shane Dawson. Just sort of his memoir slash collection of essays. I enjoy Shane Dawson. When he does stuff like this, I think it's funny. This reminds me of his podcast. And his movie Not Cool. He's someone who made a movie and started as a YouTuber. I think that's awesome. So I wanted to support Shane Dawson and get his book. But yeah, this is non-fiction. So, a romantic book and an action book. Can we get like 2 in 1 here? I would argue that this book is full of romance and action. A book that made you happy and a book that made you sad. The best books are the ones that do both. For me, that was Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. Do you like how I just cheated the last 2 questions? I still am sort of in love with this book. I loved Fangirl so much. So that was the opposites book tag. If you're on spring break this week, have fun. I'll be in LA for the next few days doing some fun stuff. Visiting a college, going to the last bookstore. It's hard to believe that it's already the end of March. I have a lot to share with you guys about this year already, so I will probably be doing an update book haul soon. I also have like a whole shelf of books that need to be hauled from like December, January, and February. Okay, so I think that's about it for today. Have a good one, and I will see you guys very soon. Goodbye!